Hello everyone, my name is Anu and today we'll read about a jungle boy, Hiawatha, in a poem called Hiawatha. And this poem is written by H.W. Longfellow. Students, you must have heard about Mowgli, the jungle boy, right? You must have seen cartoons and there were episodes on TV also, and you must have read the book Jungle Book. In that book, there was a boy, Mowgli, who was brought up in the forest by the animals. And you must have seen in the TV that how he used to live with the animals out there. So this story, this poem, Hiawatha, is also like that only, because in this we'll read about the jungle boy Hiawatha and we'll see that how he lives in the forest. Okay, now let's read this poem. Well, we are giving first introduction about Hiawatha. Like, Hiawatha was a young red Indian boy. He lived with his old grandmother, Nokomis, in a wigwam. Well, students, this is a boy, Hiawatha. He was a red Indian boy and he was living in a forest in a wigwam. You know what is a wigwam? A wigwam is a kind of tent, a temporary house. It's a tent. So he lived there in a tent with his old grandmother and her name was Nokomis. So Hiawatha was living in a tent with his grandmother Nokomis in the forest. Nokomis taught Hiawatha about the wonders around them. She told him about the stars, the trees, the insects, the birds, the animals, and many other things. Okay, like children, your grandmother also used to tell you lots of stories about, about prince, king, queen, and this and that. So likewise, Hiawatha's grandmother, Nokomis, she also used to tell many stories about the stars, trees, about the insects, about the birds, the animals, and many other things. She used to tell him everything around them. Okay, now Hiawatha grew up to love them all. He could talk to the birds and the animals, and they to him. And you know what? That Nokomis, that the boy Hiawatha, he was brought up in the jungle, in the forest only, but among the animals and birds. So he loved all the animals, and all the animals and birds used to love Hiawatha. Okay, now let's start the poem. Then the little Hiawatha learned of every bird its language, learned their names and all their secrets, how they built their nests in summer, where they hid themselves in winter, talked with them whenever he meet them, called them Hiawatha's chickens. Okay, now here, the poet is telling us that the little Hiawatha, the boy, he learned every bird's language. He was that much smart because he was living among all those birds. He used to understand their language. He learned their language. He learned everything about the birds. What he learned? He learned their names, their secrets, everything he used to know about the birds. And like how they build their nests in summer, okay? In the summer season, how they build their nests and where they hid themselves in winter. And when there is winter in the forest, where did they hide themselves? And like where did talk with them whenever he meet them? And like whenever you meet your friends, you talk to them, right? Likewise, Hiawatha was their friend and he used to talk to them whenever he meet them. He's talking about the birds. Here we're talking about the birds. And called them Hiawatha's chickens. And he used to call all the birds Hiawatha's chickens. Okay, because he used to love them so much and he used to know everything about them, their names, their secrets. They're like their child, right? Right. So he called them Hiawatha's chickens. Next, of all beasts, he learned the language learned their names and all their secrets, how the beavers built their lodges, where the squirrels hid their acorns, how the reindeer ran so swiftly, why the rabbit was so timid, talked with them whenever he met them, talked them Hiawatha's brother. Right. So now here he's talking about the beasts. Beast means animals. Now what he's saying that as he was living among all the animals and the birds, he used to call birds his chickens and he used to call all the animals his brother. Right. And like he learned all the languages of all the animals. He learned their names, their secrets. Like he used to know everything about all the animals. Like how the beavers built their lodges, right? Like how the beavers, they build their homes, their houses, their lodges. And where the squirrels hid their acorns and where, that squirrels love acorns, right? What is acorn? It's a fruit of oak tree, right? So where the squirrels hide them. And how the reindeer ran so swiftly, so smoothly, how the reindeers, the animal reindeer, how he runs so smoothly, so swiftly. Why the rabbits were so timid and why the rabbits were so weak, so fearful, right? So timid. Talk with them whenever he meet them. And likewise, whenever he meet any animal, he used to talk with them and call them Hiawatha's brother. And he used to call all the animals his brother, right? So this was the poem from H.W. Longfellow, Hiawatha. And what did you see in this? What did you hear? That, what did you learn here, students? That Hiawatha was a jungle boy. He was a forest boy and he used to live there with his grandmother Nokomis. And all the animals and all the birds were his friends. He used to talk to them whenever he meet them. He used to know their names, all their secrets, everything. So, Hiawatha, he used to call all the birds his chickens and all the animals his brothers. Yes. And he used to love all the animals and birds, right? And they also used to love him, right? So, this was the poem and it is quite interesting one. I hope you liked it. Now let's do the new words. So the first word we have is wigwam. It's an oval-shaped shelter. The wigwam was supported with brass and they built the wigwam in winters. Next word we have is beavers. It means a broad-tailed mammal. Like a beaver was perching on the top of the tree. Or the beaver is infected and so we cannot eat it in our dinner. Oh. Acorns. Now the next word, acorn, I told you it is the fruit of oak tree. She was playing with acorns on the floor. I love to add acorns in my porridge. Reindeer, it is a deer with large horns, right? Like Jaya saw a reindeer running in the forest. Or the reindeer was crying in pain. Next word we have is timid. It means to show fear. He gave a very timid response to the principal. Or the child was timid in front of his parents. Now let's see the question answer, students. Who was Hiawatha? Hiawatha was a young red Indian boy. Who was Nokomis? Nokomis was Hiawatha's old grandmother. Okay, next question we have. What did he learn about birds? He learned the language of the birds, their names, and all their secrets, such as how they build their nests, where they hide themselves during winters, etc. Okay, now what secrets did he learn about beasts? So he learned how the beavers build their lodges, where the squirrels hide their food, and how the reindeer run so swiftly, and why the rabbit is so timid. Okay, next question. Do you think that Hiawatha liked learning new languages? Yes, of course, yes, because Hiawatha liked learning new languages because He learned all the languages of all the birds and all the animals, right? So he liked learning new languages. Now next is Hiawatha called the birds chickens and the bees brother. What do you think this shows? What do you think this shows, students? Well, this shows that Hiawatha was friendly to birds and animals. Do birds have secrets? Yes, birds have their secrets. Now, do you know the secret language of any animal? Tell the class about it. No, I don't know the secret language of any animal because we are not able to talk to any animal or birds. You can write your own answer about it. Next question is use words beginning with V sound like hat, house, hen, hide, horse, heart, hand. Make a pair of words, one a describing word and one a naming word. So here you have to make a pair in which one word should be describing and one word should be naming, like happy Hiawatha, hungry hippopotamus, high horse, heavy hand, right? Okay. Active hen, new hat, kind heart, beautiful house. Let's see the next. Now here, this is a park where children talk to different animals and birds. Write 4 sentences about the picture. Use capital letters where required. Complete sentences and punctuation. Okay, now see. As you have seen, this is in your book, students. And in this picture, what do you see? You have to write here. Like, several birds and animals are sitting around her. The girl is talking to them. And everyone appears in a happy mood. Okay, and you can write your own sentences also here. Next, where do the following live? Birds live in nests, rabbits live in burrow, beavers live in lodges. Now the next question, this is a quite important one, students. Here describe Hiawatha, his home and friends in 10 lines. You have to here write about Hiawatha, right? Like Hiawatha was a young red Indian boy. He lived with his old grandmother Nokomis in a wigwam. Hiawatha learned to love birds and animals from his grandmother. He used to talk to them whenever he met them. Birds and animals also loved him and talked to him. All birds and animals were his friends. He learnt their languages, their names, and all their secrets. He called the birds Hiawatha's chickens and animals Hiawatha's brothers. Okay. Now, this is the next question. What did Hiawatha love? So, Hiawatha loved all the things around him, such as the stars, the trees, the insects, the birds, and the animals, and many other things. Now match A with B and write the complete sentence below. Whenever, whoever, wherever, and I go, I have friends, I'm hungry, I eat, comes first wins. So students will match these sentences like whenever I'm hungry, I eat. Whoever comes first wins. Wherever I go, I have friends. Now here, complete the following stories by using an appropriate word from the box given below. Here students, the words are my, his, her, your. So I have completed the stories already here. Like Ram was a young farmer. He wanted to sell his goats and sheep. So he went to the market. There he sold all his animals to a rich man and got a lot of money. When he was going back to his village, 3 thieves stopped him. Stop. Give us all your money. Ram was very clever. He said, I'll give my money to the strongest of you. On hearing this, the thieves started fighting amongst themselves. and Ram slipped away quietly. Okay, and the next story we have is sitting on a tree, a crow was enjoying a piece of bread. A hungry fox wanted to have that bread. He said very sweetly, "Dear brother, I have heard that your voice is very sweet. Please sing a song for me." The foolish crow opened his beak and the piece of bread fell down. The fox picked it up in his mouth and ran off. Okay, so students, the next one exercise we have is this homophones one. You must know about the homophones. We have already discussed it about in our previous videos. Homophones are the words which have the same sounds but different spellings and different meaning, right? Like the bird sits on a dash and there is on a bow. The sound is same, but we will write B-O-U-G-H. It means a branch. Okay, the squirrel has a long tail. Now there are two tail, T-A-I-L tail, that means the tail, the animals have tails. And the another is T-A-I-L-E, which means story. So the squirrel has a long tail, T-A-I-L. I have to leave at 2. Now here TOO2 and TWO2. But we will write TWO2 because it is number. And another 2 has its meaning is also. This sum is right. Right means R-I-G-H-T, right, will write here. I can hear the bird's song. Now here H-E-R-E is also here and H-E-A-R is also here. But as we have to hear, it is, I can hear the bird's song. Do you know a secret? No is means N-O no and K-N-O-W is also no. But the right answer is K-N-O-W no. So do you know a secret? The king sits on the throne. Now throne is T-H-R-O-W-N is also throne and T-H-R-O-N-E. But the king will sit on throne. He is our school principal. So you have to write the correct one. Okay. So these were the exercises of this lesson this poem students. And I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Stay tuned with me for my next video. Till then, take care and enjoy learning. And please do not forget to like my videos and subscribe my channel.
Hush.